Welcome everyone to Manufacturing Talk Radio. My name is Tim Grady. I'm here with my co-host Lou Wise. We have two very special guests with us today. We happen to be at FABTECH 2015, what I like to call Fabulous FABTECH 2015. This is an incredible show at the McCormick Convention Center, 750,000 square feet of exhibits. It's really a can't-miss show for anyone who's in the manufacturing industry. Everything you want to see that makes something in America is here at this show. I would like to introduce the Vice President of Media and Expositions who put this entire show together with Fabricators and Manufacturers Association International, Mr. Mark Hooper. Mark, how are you today?
Great. Appreciate the opportunity to be here with both of you this morning.
Well, we're certainly glad to have you. We spoke with Mark last year. We also have with us Sheila LaMothe. Sheila is the Associate Director of Marketing and Public Relations with Trump, and I'm going to have you explain, Sheila, just what Trump does because it does so much. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Trump is a German-based company, and we are the world leader in manufacturing of sheet metal fabricating equipment as well as industrial lasers.
We're going to come over and take a look at some of that equipment because it's amazing to watch it. Mark, I would like you to give our audience just kind of a brief on what FABTECH is, how it came together, and the association partners you have, because this is such an incredible show.
Definitely, thank you. So FABTECH actually started in 1981. We were in Cleveland, Ohio that first year, and we were about 100 exhibitors or so.
Wow.
Through to today, as you said, 750,000 square feet, one of the 15 largest trade shows in the entire country, and that's all trade shows, whether you're talking manufacturing or any other focus, so we're very proud of that growth. FABTECH is really started by two groups. It's the Fabricators and Manufacturers Association, which is who I am with, of course, and then the Society of Manufacturing Engineers. The two of us came together. We thought that there was a gap in the media, in the trade show industry that focused in on sheet metal, and as you can see from the growth, that has definitely been the case. Since then, we've added the American Welding Society, and they've expanded the focus of welding at FABTECH, because if you are fabricating parts, you're putting them together at some point, and the majority of that is going to be through welding. We also added the Precision Metal Forming Association, which is focused in on the stamping industry. So if you look at the growth of the automotive industry, which stamping is very tuned into, they are doing extremely well. And then we added the Chemical Coaters Association, and they brought in a focus of finishing on FABTECH. Again, kind of like welding. Once you fabricate a part, you put it together, now you're going to finish it somehow. You're going to put a coating on it, a protective coating. You're going to powder coat it with a paint. So what we're trying to accomplish with FABTECH is a one-stop shop where an attendee, whether you're an OEM, whether you're John Deere or Caterpillar or Ford, GM, whoever, or you're a job shop, a small to medium-sized job shop, which is really the core of the FABTECH attendee, you can come to one facility and see everything that you're going to need in order to manufacture your parts.
So before you mentioned that it was 750,000 square feet, how many people are we going to see here over the next 4 days?
The pre-reg for this year's FABTECH is up about 8% over the largest FABTECH that we've ever had up to this point. So in excess of 50,000 people have registered to come to FABTECH this year. So we're very, very excited. You know, I think that we all hear about some maybe uncertainty in the overall economy within the U.S. and North America, for that matter, the world. But manufacturing within the sheet metal industry is actually doing quite well.
Yeah. 50,000, I hope we brought enough brochures.
Well, Sheila, give me an idea of why Trump finds this show so important to be at, because you're here every year.
We are here every year, and really it is the premier trade show in our industry. And while I mentioned earlier that we produce fabricating equipment. We also produce industrial lasers, and both of those divisions are able to exhibit and benefit from this show. So really everything that we do, we can show here at FABTECH, and we are a very long-term exhibitor. It is the premier event in the industry, and there would just be no way that we wouldn't be here.
It is an excellent show. And Mark, excuse me, because I'm not familiar enough with the show. If somebody came here and said, oh, I've got to have that piece of equipment, can they sign a contract here today to get that piece of equipment?
I'll let Sheila answer that question.
They most certainly can. And we hope that they will.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we certainly hope that a lot of people are doing just exactly that here. Now, this is spread out over 3 halls. For those of you who are listening to the show and not familiar with the format, there's a South Hall, there's a North Hall, and then there's a hall beneath us where there's even more exhibits. It's an incredible layout. Maybe you can give them a little more insight, Mark.
Yeah, definitely. So with the growth of FABTECH, we've needed to add halls every single year. So what we've got, you referred to the South Hall and the North Hall. Really what we're talking about at this point is the South Hall is really the A Hall.
Okay.
A Hall is where you're going to see the forming and fabricating, the stamping, and the finishing pavilions. And then we've got the B Hall, which is the welding and tube and pipe technology pavilions. And then we've added C Hall. And C Hall is really, it's an outgrowth of all of the pavilions that, frankly, outgrew the space that we had dedicated for them in halls A and B, and they're in Hall C. But really, there is no bad location at FABTECH.
No.
So wherever you
and
are.
That's why we're in the Grand Concourse.
Amen, Lou.
And I will tell you that most of the food is on the C Hall floor, so there'll be a lot of people down on that floor.
Yes, sir.
But it is a great show. Is there anything unique that's come up on the show? You know, we see a lot of new things happening at FABTECH every year. 3D printing, although it's been around for a number of decades, is now really starting to ramp up. Robotics is starting to ramp up. And there's some fabulous robotic stuff here. What's exciting to you about this show, Mark?
There's over 700 new products that are going to be displayed on the show floor. Really the last 10 years in the forming and fabricating industry has seen the growth of technology. It just explode. Every single year there is in that neighborhood of 500 to 700, 800 new products that are going to be on the show floor. So you talked about robotics, and robotics is going to be a form of automation. Automation is absolutely huge, and it goes beyond just robotics. It's stacking systems, and Sheila can talk a little bit about that. But when an attendee comes to FABTECH, what they're looking for is an opportunity to increase their productivity and minimize cost. And automation is certainly a way that they can do that. And in fact, with the shortage in labor and the difficulty that manufacturers have in finding labor, automation is really key to making North America competitive in the world manufacturing market. You talked a little bit about the 3D printing and the additive industry. Yes, we definitely see that as something that's growing. It's in its infancy stage at this point, like you said, Tim. It's been around for a long time. But it's the application of it is really just now, within the last probably 5 years or so, really started to move the needle. And that is actually a new pavilion that you will see on the show floor at FABTECH. And there are 3D printed parts that are spread throughout the public areas of the show. So you'll see a Shelby Cobra, you'll see a sport utility vehicle out here. You'll see a F-22 fighter that's out here.
That.
You saw that, yeah. I hope. And then a kayak, actually, where it's a long part. So what they've been able to do is in 3 sections show the various stages of the 3D printing process. It's really quite fascinating.
We saw in Israel they've taken the 3D printing one step further, and they are now developing growth of cells where they can do an organ transplant made in the room, the surgical ward, replace an organ, takes about 5 hours, and it's quite amazing, and they use your cells.
Yeah, no question about it. The applications of it go far beyond metal or plastics, etc. You know, we all hear the stories of what they're able to do within the medical industry on it. It's an amazing piece of technology.
Now, Mark, a couple of weeks ago, one of your exhibitors went to, I think it was the Chicago Museum, and put a 3D scanner around the stately lions that sit out in front of that building. Now, those lions are probably 8 or 9 feet long, they're life size, and they created a 3D miniature of it that's here at the show. Incredible stuff.
Incredible. Yeah, so the lions obviously are iconic to Chicago. They sit in front of the Art Institute. Everybody knows what they are and where they're located. So what we did is, with one of the suppliers that are actually over in the 3D pavilion, we worked with them and we went out and we scanned the lion, and then we actually brought a number of the lions made out of plastic and are bringing them to the show as giveaways, so people that attend the 3D pavilion.
Now, Sheila, what's the challenge for Trump every year? You know, as Mark mentioned, technology is moving so quickly in this industry. What are the big challenges for Trump trying to keep manufacturers on that leading edge of technology and putting together machines that are really quite incredible and showing them here at the show?
Well, Trump is heavily invested in research and development. In fact, we're probably amongst the leaders of putting the largest percentage of sales back into R&D in our company. This year, at just about 10% of our sales, we reinvested in research and development. And really, Trump's philosophy is to always be looking towards the future in what will our customers need next. And it may not be an entirely new machine. It may be new features and benefits to that machine that add productivity. We are doing a lot with automation. We have 3 machines that we're showing of our 10 that we have on display here that have automated systems with them, and a whole automation area which talks about various problems that our customers have, and really that's what drives the need for automation in many ways. I have a problem, and how am I going to solve it? So we're highlighting several problems that are pretty common that automation tends to be the answer to. And each year we really strive to bring new products to the show as well. It's a target for us. This year we're introducing 5 new products this year in our booth. Some on the laser side, but also on the punching side as well. And we have a brand new panel bender, which is a brand new product for Trump, brand new product line. And so that's another thing that we do pretty regularly, is expand what we offer, not just in terms of what the types of machines we had in the past, but things that we can help with in the future. And we also just started a 3D printing arm of our company, and we'll be showing that, I understand, for the first time in the next few weeks at a show in Europe.
We're going to have to come over and get the Sheila tour, behind the scenes tour.
I'd be happy to give that to you.
We will do that.
Got there. Now, how many pieces of equipment do you know of, Sheila? You know, years ago you had lots and lots of operators working on these very complex pieces of equipment. And I think the thing that surprised us most, Mark, last year at FABTECH, that was in Atlanta, is we watched people walking around running incredible pieces of machinery with an iPad. How much of your stuff is run with just a simple iPad?
We do have a mobile control option now, which enables the use of an iPad. We still use a standard control as well, but that certainly is an option on most of our newer equipment now.
It's an amazing thing to watch, because you talk about the young kids looking at what is happening in manufacturing, and is manufacturing an interesting place to be? And the reality is that manufacturing is a fascinating place to go. Everything that's being created, look at where you're walking, where you're standing, what you're wearing, what you're driving, what you see around you was all manufactured. And it didn't come out of the services industry, it came out of manufacturing. Mark, that's what we find so amazing about the show.
Yeah, no question about it. The days of the Industrial Revolution and manufacturing being a dirty, a dangerous job, I mean, that's really days that are behind us.
It is over.
Manufacturing is a tremendous opportunity for any young person that wants to have a solid career where they can make a very nice living from a financial perspective. And we see that at FABTECH. There's over 2,200 students that are going to be coming to FABTECH for an opportunity to get a chance to see literally thousands of products that are going to be on the show floor where they can see, look at what I would have an opportunity to work on every day. So, yes, we would agree with you 100%, Tim.
If I can add something there, if you come over to the Trump booth later, you will see our applications engineers who operate our machines for customers on a regular basis and do demonstrations, but are also running them here at the show. They are all young people. And we have two young ladies that are the applications engineers on two of our three 2D laser cutting machines that we're showing. But most of the people that are running machines over there are just a few years out of college. So.
Yeah. We've gotten involved with Manufacturing Day just a month ago or so, and we were at NJIT, and we wound up taking students from high school to a plant tour, and again, it's not dark, dirty, and dangerous anymore. It was really fabulous, and they really loved it. And these kids were so bright.
Oh yes, they were incredibly bright. We certainly would invite anybody who's listening to the show to come see FABTECH at McCormick Place. There's so much to see. You're going to need more than a day. So get registered and come in. We want to thank Mark for being here on the show with us. Mark helped put this together. We want to thank Sheila from Trump for being here as a kind of an anchor exhibitor every year. Fabulous things happening here at FABTECH 2015. Mark, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having us. Again, Sheila, thank you for coming and joining me today to go through this. As you said, Trump is a fantastic customer of FABTECH. They take about an acre of space over there, so we're...
So you shouldn't have trouble finding us.
You'll have no trouble finding Trump, that's right.
You don't have to wear yellow over there, huh?
No, we don't.
By the way, do you have the estimate, Mark, on how much weight has been brought into this facility?
I do, and if you can believe this, it's going to be in excess of 15 million pounds.
Oh, it's more than last year.
Yeah, more than last year.
Last year, I think it was 12.
About 12 last year, yeah.
That's unbelievable.
15 million pounds of equipment that has come in the door.
That's right. So if you are an attendee and you have a desire to see the latest and greatest that's going on in the forming and fabricating industry, the welding industry, the finishing industry, the stamping industry, if you have a need for equipment or you just want to see what's going on and what your company might potentially need for the future, FABTECH is where you need to be, and I can guarantee it will be time very, very well spent.
Well, for our listeners who are in the Chicago area, we invite you to come down here. Not that they need more people, you're going to have 50,000, but you've got the space for it, so anyone who wants to see some unbelievable piece of equipment, come on down.
The weather is fine in Chicago. Come on into the McCormick Place and enjoy seeing here at FABTECH 2015. Thank you for both joining us on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Sheila.